Come up with your definition of curriculum.
Let's see. I'm learning how to teach. I'm learning how to teach. A plan.
A plan lesson.
On how to teach.
Plan lesson for development.
Well, actually, that's a good question. That's it to teach. Think about it. Curriculum is like the framework. No, it's just to teach. Teaching study. So teaching study. Don't talk about my hands.
I'm not. Dang it, look cute. No, this is just a program. I write better than yes.
Well, I can't even write, so I ain't gonna say that.
I have to, when I take my time, I can do it.
Me too, baby.
When I'm just flowing on it, I can read it.
Or is it based on age? I can do it both ways. It's based on science.
You're lucky.
My daddy, I don't like
It ain't legible because I don't use the
But you can read it though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they have to hand it. It look like a 5-year-old writing.
Look, I don't write my L's like this. I really write my L's like this. And then I was in the classroom one day.
That's a good question.
And just focus on the
That's required.
and this is how I wrote it for them. I'm like, no. Go back and start
I
all over.
think I talk about teaching and studying, but also to be a technique to that. Have you word it? Like, I don't know how you word it out there. Because curriculum, think about, you have ratio, you have Montessori, you have creative, you have high scope. So all of them based on technique. And this way the teaching everybody is on different. So it could be, you said, so plan say technique, I think.
Technique.
Oh, you know, you can say, like I said, we put it all together. Because I just talked about that. I don't think they use high scope. Miss Lisa, do people, they still use high scope? Really?
Very popular.
High scope. No, I did that in 2000. It's like, she can spell it better because like I said, I've got a child care a long time. But it's like, when I was doing it, the kids, we didn't teach them stuff like much, but the issues in that they learn. Like, now you have regular, you teach them the regular. High scope, most of the kids, you teach them high scope.
They learn through play. High scope's been around for over 40 years.
Yes, I know. I like high scope.
It's one of the most developmentally appropriate curriculums outside of teaching strategies, creative curriculum. They're the two originals.
So it's weird. I don't hear about it too much. Well, I've been in home for a long time.
With their own way of doing things.
No, has nothing to do with that.
So you know some schools.
Not in early childhood, it doesn't.
They want to be more focused on it.
See, I haven't heard because I've been doing in-home for 12 years. So I wouldn't like actually they still do it or not. I don't know because I haven't heard a lot about high school.
Yeah, you can do high scope in in-home. You can do creative curriculum in in-home. You can do any curriculum.
I like high school. That was in 1990s. I was in 2000 in the early 90s. I mean, yeah.
High school. So I'm just
It was developed by the High Scope Foundation. They were one of the first to do research in early childhood on quality environments and how it impacts children.
I really like
The Perry Preschool Project was done by the High Scope Foundation. And then the Abacadarian, I think it's Abacadarian Project, it was done by the founders of Teaching Strategies. Years and years and years and years and years ago.
These things still study to try to see how to incorporate education with younger kids.
But you know, I think it depends on people's definition.
Yeah, that's it.
Because young children learn through play. So they're being taught and they're creating their own learning. Whereas once they get to public school, they lose all that.
Yeah.
Because then they're in the herd effect, where they're herding them. And either they get it when the teacher gives it to them or they don't.
Do you know why some they stop? They can stop. I'm pretty sure stuff advances. But I think a lot of schools should go back to high school because I really like that curriculum.
Well, we'll talk about that today.
Okay.
So, do you guys have your definition of curriculum? What is your definition of curriculum?
I said
It was kind of hard to come up with the definition.
Okay.
This is just,
Your ideas.
yeah, my idea
Okay.
of what a curriculum could be. A set of skills taught to kids based on their age and what they need to reach the next level.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. What else?
I still wouldn't have what she got.
Okay.
I couldn't come up with anything.
And that's okay too.
Well,
We said teaching studies,
yeah.
techniques, wasn't Terry said techniques, and we said plan lessons. What was that what you said? Because I just wrote this.
She said studying.
Planning through study for planning and studying the different, I guess you could say
Development technique.
Development. We just said plan lessons for development.
Okay.
Based on the child, yeah. Based on the
Okay.
child.
Sister, what did you think?
I said a prepared educational plan to be implemented based on age-appropriate developmental goals and milestones.
Okay.
Don't play with them.
So, this is what NACE says curriculum is. And you remember NACE is the National Association for the Education of Young Children, right? It is one of the organizations that sets the standard for early childhood across the country. So, curriculum consists of the plans for the learning experiences through which children acquire knowledge, skills, abilities, and understanding. But they also state that implementing a curriculum always yields outcomes, but which outcomes those are and how a program achieves them are critical. So in developmentally appropriate practice, the curriculum helps young children achieve goals that are meaningful because they are culturally and linguistically responsive and developmentally and educationally significant. The curriculum does this through learning experiences that reflect what is known about young children in general and about each child in particular.
So, pretty close.
So learning is everything curriculum is everything that happens in your classroom.
Okay.
It is everything from your daily schedule to your room setup, to the materials you have out on your shelf, to your lessons that you plan, but also how you teach those lessons.
So the curriculum could be like a framework.
The curriculum is your framework.
Thank you.
And everything that happens within that
Exactly.
is how the children learn.
I just told them that it's a framework. Everything else.
Your curriculum is your framework. So if you're thinking about commercial curriculums, because those are the easiest, and before we do that, what should a curriculum be based on?
How the kid learn?
Theory. Remember how we talked about all the theory that supports early childhood education? Whatever you do in your classroom should be based on all of those theories that we talked about. Somebody grab that door back there. It's all of those theories that we talked about. Understanding temperament. So in order for you to know what is developmentally appropriate, and you guys will hear that word a lot, DAP. DAP is developmentally appropriate practices. And so you'll hear that a lot. Good morning. You'll hear that a lot. And so when you think about what is developmentally appropriate, how do you know if something is developmentally appropriate?
So we know.
How do you know? What's it based on?
Hold on.
How do you know if something is developmentally appropriate for a specific age group?
The milestone?
Yes.
I was gonna say that.
Yes. That's how you know. Those milestones that we talked about, those learning domains that we talked about, based on age, our bell curve, that the milestones are set up for 80% of the children, that you're going to have 10% that are going to be advanced, 10% that are going to need a little bit more support.
Good luck.
So you know something is developmentally appropriate when it is aligned with the milestones for that age group. So if you know that 2-year-olds can't write their name developmentally, are you going to give them tracing papers to write their name? No, because that's not developmentally appropriate. So you want everything that you do in your classroom, even with your curriculum, to be developmentally appropriate for children.
Like lesson plans and like when you plan activities for the kids too.
Yes, everything should be developmentally appropriate. So what we're going to do today is we're going to link your lesson planning to development. And people are not, most of the time, people are given a blank lesson plan template and they're saying, here, create a lesson plan. So they may create a lesson plan, but it may not be aligned with anything. And typically they'll start with the theme, and then they'll want to put their activities together instead of starting with what the children are interested in first.
Okay.
Because they may not care what we're interested in. And if you think about it, a lot of times programs they'll set the themes for topics of study for their program. And they'll have everybody doing the same thing. Is that developmentally appropriate? No. Because each age group is different. So if we're going to be culturally and linguistically responsive, why would we all be doing the same thing? We would not. Because toddlers may not care about under the sea. They may want to know about dinosaurs. They may want to know about trucks. 1-year-olds may want to know about shoes because they're always taking theirs off.
Exactly.
And their socks. So you want to make sure that you're being developmentally appropriate with everything that you plan. Okay? And curriculum is everything that happens in your classroom. The name of the curriculum is just your framework, like Ms. Terry said. But everything builds the house. We talk about building the house. Everything builds the house. So what curriculum is not? What is not curriculum?
But you're just talking about the how sometimes the thing for everybody is not appropriate.
And it's not just your lesson plan. When I used to do TA, or even when I'm out talking to students, and I'll ask them, I'll say, I think I asked you all, what curriculum do you all use?
Oh, easy.
And then some people are going, I don't know. Well, and then sometimes, like we have a curriculum, but it's not to fidelity because we have new people. So the training gets lost in translation lots of times, and then people are not brought up to speed on what it is. But it's also not the Georgia Early Learning Development Standards. What are those? Behavior, milestone, framework. Yes. So whenever you are talking to someone and they go, when you're like, what curriculum do you use? Jail, you can go,
That's not a curriculum.
That's not really a curriculum. Do you use something else? That's a behavioral milestone framework. And then they'll be like, well, that's just what my director told me. So that's why it's important for you all to know.
So what would you say?
Just that. Just what I tell you all. Nah, that's a behavioral milestone framework. That's not really a curriculum. Do you guys use something else? Yeah. Because lots of times people don't know. They just think because everything has to be aligned with GELDS for our licensing and everything, it all has to be aligned. So on your lesson plan, there's a GELDS standard, a GELDS code that you match everything up to, right? So then because of that, and they don't know what they don't know, then they say that's the curriculum.
Okay.
So we have to all help educate each other. But right from the start, we'll tell you that it's not a curriculum. Yeah. I've sat in discussions where they go, GELDS is not a curriculum. I know.
So what's an example of a curriculum?
Oh, good question. Here's just a few. Creative curriculum. And creative curriculum was developed by teaching strategies. And creative curriculum, what I love the most is when we were talking about the theories, I sent you all the handout with the creative curriculum, the theories that support creative curriculum. So what you will find is that creative curriculum in high scope, you can find what they're grounded in. That's why I love them so much. But now, Frog Street, Frog Street, Wings, and I know the developer of Wings. Wings was developed based on the environment rating scales to help people with that. The Houghton Mifflin, they do actually public school curriculum, but they have preschool curriculum too, and for pre-K. And then Pinnacle is also a curriculum. There's lots of them. And on Bright from the Start's website, they list the approved curriculums that you can use for Georgia pre-K. So what a lot of people do is they try to recreate the wheel. So that's why you have so many different types. There's nothing different really about them. They're just piggybacking, oh, well, they created a curriculum, I can too.
Ask you about that, why so many?
Yeah,
Okay.
because they all think that they can do it better. But they're just using what someone else has created, the foundation that these other curriculums set. Now, there is a difference in price as well. So creative curriculum is expensive, and so is high scope. They're expensive, but they're worth it. So that's why you don't see, I know that a lot of the Sheltering Arms, Easter Seals, places like that, they use creative curriculum. And that's studies, so we're going to talk about, and they have concept webs and all kinds of fun things. We use those with my Learning Spaces project. But then there's also just how everything is put together. So sometimes it's about ease for teachers instead of helping the teachers understand how to use and be creative with what you're given. So once you guys go through the linking lessons to development, you can create a lesson plan on anything. But because you're going to start with the children's development first. And then you're going to build it out from the development. Yes.
So does GELS like help make the curriculum? Like, does the curriculum go by GELS? Like,
GELS is just, you know how when we're thinking about making something developmentally appropriate, the behavioral, the milestone framework helps you to understand what is developmentally appropriate.
Okay.
So that lets you know where the children should be, the skills that they should be at a certain age.
Right, okay.
But
So-
what makes it not a curriculum?
Because it doesn't have all the components of a curriculum. GELS.
That's what is missing, the how.
Well, and let's look at something. I meant to bring one of my creative curriculum studies, and I ran out of the house without it this morning. But with programs like creative curriculum gives you a whole book on a study. So they do studies now. The 6th edition is studies. So let's say one of the studies is on boxes. So inside that study, you're going to open it up. It's going to tell you how to go through your day, your learning day. It's going to tell you how to do your morning circle. It's going to give you ideas for your morning circle. And it's going to do it because the study is longer. It's like a month long. So each week, creative curriculum is going to give you those activities that you're going to need for that whole week, but then they're going to break it down for you inside the book on how to do it and why you're doing it. It's going to give you there's foundational books on how to set up your learning environments. There's how to have quality interactions. All of that comes with your curriculum. So when you're thinking about a behavioral framework, milestone framework, they're just giving you developmentally where they should be, and they're just giving you activities to support that. They don't tell you how to do it. They don't tell you what to put it in. They don't tell you how to create a lesson plan. They don't tell you how to do all of that. They just give you the milestone development that where they should be. The curriculum takes that milestone development and they put an assessment piece in there so you know if they're there, and then they give you how to use it in your classroom and function in your classroom when create lessons about it and activities on whatever you're creating, whether it's boxes, trees, clothes. They give you how to do all of this within your room. And also how to engage the parents. Field trip ideas, it gives you all kinds of things.
Another thing, Claire, that you use a lot of times is also that you know what the child learn doing that lesson or doing that planning, the activity, like cognitive thinking, if they learn how to lay strings and things like that, like anything that you're learning, it'll tell you that too in the curriculum.
And it also breaks it down, which is how we break down the linking lessons to development into how to identify emerging, developing, and mastered skills.
Yeah. I love talking about curriculum.
And so I always, whenever I do consulting, I always suggest people purchase. Is different. It's not a curriculum, it's an approach. HighScope is actually marketed as an approach because it starts with infants and goes up. They don't market it as a curriculum, they market it as a learning approach, a teaching approach. And the same with Reggio Emilia. It is an approach to teaching. It is a methodology. The same with HighScope. They market it as a methodology. Yeah.
What about Montessori? Montessori is what? Like,
Montessori is a methodology.
okay.
Yep. Montessori is a methodology. It is a way of teaching young children. Yep. Did you guys want to see one of the studies at a glance from Creative Curriculum? Let me show. I've got one.
Y'all come? I was doing pills because I take them tonight so I'm sleeping early. I take 5 of the time.
Here it is. This is the boxes study at a glance from Creative Curriculum. Can you all see that? So how they break it down is they have questions. So when you guys are thinking about planning your lessons, I'm going to blow it up. So when you guys are thinking about, and I'll read some of it off to you.
Okay.
So when you guys are thinking about the creative curriculum, so creative curriculum will, you're going to explore a topic. So let's say you have boxes. You're going to say, the question is, that you're asking the children is, what do we know about boxes? And what do we want to find out about boxes? So then there's activities in your interest areas, your question of the day. So you have questions of the day. And that is, did you use a box today? Now this is preschool, this is not toddler. Did you use a box today? They might not even know what a box, you know what I mean? They might not even know. So you're starting that with them. And then there's large group activities, read alouds because they're very big on literacy, and then there's small group. And this goes through weeks, right? You see that this goes through weeks. It does small group. You've got Mighty Minutes. Mighty Minutes are transitional activities, but they're transitions, but they're learning at the same time. So you're teaching them something while you're transitioning them.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and so, but then they also, on the other side, they give you family partnerships, they give you wow experiences, and you're celebrating as you go through. They also give you additional outdoor experiences that the parents can do at home. They have literacy cards for every book that's given, and they also have anything that you're going to need, you're going to have it. They have their own books associated with each study, and those come along with each study. So when you purchase this, you purchase everything that you need. So then there is, but you're going to have different, it's going to break down each week for you too, so that you have
Everything you need.
everything. So then you've got why you're doing it, how you're doing it, everything. So that's the difference in a behavioral milestone framework and a curriculum. So it's more than just your activities.
And that's creative, right?
This is one of the studies at a glance for the 6th edition.
And this is preschool. Do you have
Yes.
one for
Infants and toddlers, I do not have one of the studies at a glance for infants and toddlers, and I've never been able to find them.
Oh, okay.
So you create your lesson plan, but infants and toddlers are different because they're building and exploring at the same time.
All right.
And their books are even different in creative curriculum. And let's see. I can go to the list of approved curriculums for It's probably going to take me to the website. And some places create their own curriculum. So here's a list of the approved curriculums for Georgia Pre-K. So Alpha Skills, I don't know anything about Alpha Skills. Ready to Advance, Frog Street, of course. High Scope, Kaplan has created a curriculum. Robert Leslie Publisher, which is the Investigator Club. Teaching Strategies, which is creative curriculum. And this one, Weekend Early Learning Curriculum, is no longer available for purchase. Wings. And then there are proprietary ones that they approve, like Child Care Networks curriculum, Children's Courtyards curriculum, Child Time, Kids Are Kids, Kinder Care, La Petite, and Tutor Time, and the overall use of Montessori.
So Kids Are Kids have their own?
Yes, because they, just use something that's already there. But people want to recreate the wheel. But I remember years and years and years ago when I first started working in early childhood, La Petite Academy had their own curriculum way back then, and it was called the Journey curriculum. And it was amazing. It was spiral bound books, and we had all the activities we needed, materials, how to do it, and we just created our lesson plans from the curriculum books that they gave us way back in 1993. Yeah. It was a long time. Don't say that.
I know, right?
32 years ago.
That means I could be your mother.
32 years ago, they were known as one of the best schools, and they're still known as one.
Yes, they are outside of Georgia for sure. They are in other states. They're very highly regarded. Yeah. Even when I was a regional director for them and I had to travel, and I traveled to other states to view their locations, they all were way different. And I'm like, wow, can we have that? Can we do that? Yeah. And even the same for Kinder Care. And I don't know why, but Kinder Care is highly regarded outside of Georgia. So I don't know why it's not regarded as highly in Georgia. I don't know why La Petite or Kinder Care is as highly regarded in Georgia. I don't know.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Get up. Cut that out.
And so you see, there's lots of different types of curriculum. And based on price and things like that, sometimes people have to have other choices. Okay, so when we are thinking about your developmentally appropriate theme planning, right? I'm all about getting your opinions, right? So what do you think concept webbing is? Have any of you ever seen concept webbing?
No.
Okay. What do you think it is?
With social media?
No?
No, web.
You know, like taking
web, concept.
topic, and then
When you
from
come,
that topic, you're like growing ideas, or like, I forget like what exactly about the topic you're webbing about, but
Yeah.
you're going from that topic and you're growing.
Absolutely.
oh, it's spreading out or something?
And if you guys will look on the table, there is two handouts using webbing for lesson planning, and I have two webs for you all. And grab another one from that back table, ladies, because there's only two on this table. Grab another one. There's from that back table.
This is good.
So those are, there's a sample picture of a web on gardening that I pulled up. And there is a blank template of a web.
Basically,
Yes.
concept webbing as a part of curriculum, you're learning. So if you talk about a certain topic, such as like what you have on here, you're just expanding it, and then you expand from there.
You're able to put all your creative thoughts down on paper so that you are able to put it all out so that you can see it. So like the gardening one. When you're looking at the gardening picture, the gardening, this person wanted to do gardening in nature. So when you think about the circles that come out from the gardening in nature, she felt that it was important for the children to know about herbs, insects, backyard birds, the other one, it was colored, gardening tools, and flowers. So when you're doing your own web, it's based on if you ask the children, what do you want to know about gardening? And they give you some overall topics, so you're always thinking ahead. So if you're thinking about what you're going to plan for the next week, you're already thinking about, okay, well, and toddlers, it's a little bit different, but you base yours on what you see them playing with, what you see them doing in the classroom. Yeah. And so what we're going to do first is we're going to create a web. And we're going to think of a topic in the middle. So when you're thinking of concept webbing helps you get all your thoughts down. And it helps you to think about in a preschool classroom if you've asked the children what they want to know. Include that in your web. And that's what you want to do.
So this right here is the topic. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I just gave that as an example because there's a picture one, Miss Terry, of one that was hand drawn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so what's your role in this? And this is the same, you have the same role when you are thinking about your lesson planning in general. You're linking the lessons to development. So we're going to use our web when we're doing our linking lessons to development. So we're going to connect the two in that way. So what your job is as the teacher is you're going to observe your children, which is what you would do anyway, right?
Correct.
Yes.
You're going to assess what they need and what their interests and what their abilities are. So based on that, you're going to think about your topic of study or your theme that is on the level of your children, based off of what you've observed them to do, right? Then you're going to prepare a web. Then you're going to plan for your learning goals, and we're going to write out our learning goals. Select activities. You're going to think about how you're going to communicate your topic to your families. And then you're going to introduce your theme or topic of study to your children, and you're going to evaluate it at the end to even see. You may be like, listen, I'm not going to do that ever again. That all was awful. This activity, the kids did not care about that at all. They liked this activity, this activity, this activity, but they hated this. None of them wanted to do it. And that's what we do as teachers. We reflect on things, right?
Yeah.
So if it's not working, we're going to reflect on why it didn't work and if we even want to do it again or scrap it altogether. And it's okay to scrap it altogether.
As long as you try, huh?
That's right. Well, and you don't know if you don't try, especially with toddlers, because you may not always know what they like. So you're going to try something, see if they like it, and they may not. And that's okay too. You may start with one lesson plan, get midway through the week, and the kids be like, "Ooh," and you're like, "Okay, let's switch it up." And then switch it up. It's okay, as long as you've got your documentation for licensing. It's okay. Switch it up. You don't have to force them through it, or force yourself through it.
I was supposed to
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we have a couple of resources. I did a teacher toolbox on the table. I'm missing the 1-year-olds. I don't know where my 1-year-old box went. So there's an infant box, a 2-year-old box, and a 3-year-old box. And it might be a 4-year-old box in there. There's just 3 boxes. So, that could give you ideas. If you're working with a younger group, it can give you ideas for what you may want to do. But what I want you all to do right now is I want you all to come together and you're going to create a web first. And you guys can create your own individual web at your table, or you can create a group web. It's whatever you all choose to do. And then once we do the group web, then we're going to go into a little bit of overview about how to link it to development and what that looks like. And then we're going to turn around and link it to development. I'm going to push your brain a little bit today. So we're going to save our goals for learning to the linking lessons. So if you guys will just come up with your web, and I don't care what your web looks like. It makes no difference to me. It's whatever web you all want. You don't have to make it look like this. You don't have to make it look like the template. I just wanted you to have 2 that you could visualize. Make sense? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys about 30 minutes to start, and then I'll check back in with you at the end of your 30 minutes, okay? And if you have any questions, let me know. I don't know which box you all have. It should be noted on the very front card.
36 to 48.
Okay. And that was probably, one of them was 24 to 36, and then one of them was 12 to 0 to 12. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just, if you guys just want to use it for ideas, you're welcome to. And if you have any questions, just let me know.
Okay, y'all want to do
Okay.
that's okay. I do it.
You okay?
Yeah. So you can do 12 to 20.
Put it right there and you
So just think about a large topic, and then what the children want to know about that larger topic, like gardening, pets.
Right. So it's like Q-tips. It could be anything.
come up with these are just
So we gotta come
like ideas you can pitch from.
Yeah, those are just, that's the activity, that's a teacher toolbox for jails. So that gives you activities according to the different, possibly. I just had that as so it could help when we start aligning it to the jail standard. It'll be helpful for people to think about.
You were looking at the same when I was looking at all activities.
Also, basically, this one.
It's basically like Q-tips, paper, and this is, writing of color. So we encourage the children to
You can reach out, you can make extra screens too. No, that just.
Okay, let's do this. Bright ideas, y'all.
I think the 3-year-old would be more better off.
One hand on the other side and the other.
We're trying to come up with
A topic of study or a theme.
Well, Tia was asking, do we got to focus on this group?
No.
Or it could be any age group?
Yes, I just put that out as a resource. Any age group.
We're trying to come up, like, how can we branch out from what the big
That's what I'm saying. So which age
I'm really teaching y'all 1 and 2, so I was on preschool. So they will.
that would be fall, because what else is Oh, we do.
But we don't have to, I mean,
They like Play-Doh and
or
painting.
or maybe we'll do these and then we'll go back to see if it's something else. I mean,
So we don't have to go to Google to get our branches. What make you do that? Go to Google, like,
I saw this is always
okay, so let's go start.
they understand it, right? Let's do trees. Because you know trees, you gotta come from them. You gotta do a seed. Come on, do the tree. Just go. Just get it.
But you gotta keep, like, they start to, like,
Roots? Y'all put from the seed, it's the root ground first. What's the roots? What's considered?
you have to create so we did winter, fall, spring, and summer, right?
Okay.
So in these circles, they trying to put like cold
Ground
jacket.
first, right? Well, let's just start up.
No, right?
See, ground first.
You would be.
Well, think about your gardening. So what they want to know about gardening, I would choose a season. I wouldn't do all of them. Choose a season.
So like,
So if you choose winter, what do you wear in winter? Then you got free clothes.
Okay, yeah.
What does winter weather look like? Ice, snow,
But it's not that.
temperature, cold temperatures. Like, what would it look like? Like, what do you think children will want to know about winter? Just like they did about gardening. They thought that the children would know what about flowers, herbs, insects, backyard birds, and gardening tools. So then when they did herbs, they picked their herbs. When they did insects, they picked their insects. When they picked their backyard birds, they picked their
Like the trees.
their flowers. For me, I would want to know how to care for the garden.
No age.
What do you plant? When do you plant it?
I think a deer would
How do you care for it?
What age? Y'all don't
Well, and it's not that it's not working. This is more difficult than people think it is. Especially when you've got to come up with it yourself. It's different if someone's giving you boxes, someone's giving you clothing, or someone's giving you trees. Right? I can do this, 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 and this.
No, they
Yeah. So think about it from the standpoint of what age group first do you all want to plan for? And you don't have to use this busy concept now. I just wanted you to have an example of one. Because see, the picture is much more simple. So if you draw it out and have it be much more simple, even on the back of one of them, but so even if what age, first think about your age group. What age group are you guys going to plan for?
let's do 5-year-olds.
You're gonna name everything like individual, like
Plan for 5-year-olds or do 3 to 4 because that's a technical preschool age. So what, if you're thinking about seasons, what would the children want to know about seasons, or they may not even care about seasons?
because the vision they're gonna be what you venturing out from there. Okay, so with the vision, when you see
But that's where you come in as a teacher, and you have to not necessarily make them like it, but make them interested.
So what if, let's say, what are 4-year-olds interested in?
That has to do something with winter, right?
No, just in general, what are they interested in? They love dinosaurs. 4-year-olds love dinosaurs. They love building.
Flower, that's for the flower.
They begin to learn about community helpers. They begin to learn about what's in their neighborhood.
Like, whatever it's gonna be, and then like classroom helpers,
Or even if you just do community helpers. So if you're doing community helpers, what you would want to know, you would want them to understand the types of community helpers, right?
So that would be on.
Yeah, the types. So those would all be under one thing. So when you're doing, so it would be, so you would have community helpers.
Going up the block.
Trouble writing the types of community helpers. You're going to write those down here. And then what else would they want to know about community helpers?
How community helpers help?
How do they help?
How much money they make?
They don't care about that.
They 3.
How do they help? And then maybe it is put out fires. Whatever, however they help.
Okay.
And then what else would they want to know about community helpers?
Maybe like
That is
where
so tricky.
where they are, or yeah, this is
My
like
mind's like,
So maybe where they're located.
We come from the ground too.
when do they come?
When do they? How do you know you need them? However you want to do that. So the types of them.
That's
How do they help? By putting out fires. Where are they located? The fire station, the police station. The EMTs may be at the hospital. Right. Yeah. How do you call them? How do they come?
okay.
911.
Then with the flower, then we can go get you know so
It's different kinds of flowers. I'm gonna go to say.
So then you're going to, when you think about the types of them, how do they help, and then where they're located, fire station. So then you're going to, when you think about that, then you're going to create your activities. So maybe your dramatic play is a fire station. Maybe it is a police station. Maybe you have some firemen and police officers come in and speak to the kids. A veterinarian, a doctor, hospitals. Those are all community helpers.
Oh, someone come from the
what's throwing me off is like, because I'm looking at this one that says gardening and nature, and then like everything branched off.
So they're doing,
Items are like, they name each flower, they name each insect, they name each herb.
because those are the flowers they want them to do. And I have an older concept map about pets that I used to use when I taught this for QCC. So I can pull that up and show that to you, how they did pets. Because they did,
So look at this on the wall. This
I'm going to pull up an older,
branches on the walls.
I'm going to pull up an older concept map that I used to use when I taught this for QCC. Because I had some more questions about concept maps.
Look at all this.
Parts of it.
No, but I'm saying, yeah, you see.
the backyard.
Yeah, insects.
So this concept map was about pets. So the web, the center, they want to talk about pets with preschool children. So they wanted to know the kinds of pets, the sounds that pets make, the movement, how pets move, the body covering of pets, and the people that care for the pets.
So when, where, why, and how.
Right. So then, so with the kinds of pets, they wanted to talk about dogs, cats, hamsters, turtles, fish. They listed all of the kinds of pets. They even listed a goat, a farm pet, and house pets. Farm pets, house pets.
Where to start from.
So then for movement, they took the pets that they distinguished, and then they thought about how these pets move. Because you're connecting them, right?
Yeah.
So these pets swim, walk, fly, hop, run, and crawl. These pets.
But y'all forgot.
So then,
It took her the wind blows.
the body covering, they have fur, feathers, scales, and a shell if you're a turtle. So then they went to the sounds that the pets make. Barking, meowing, squeaking, chirping, and hissing. And then they went to the care that what the pets need. They need food, water, love, air, exercise, grooming, allergies, and shelter. And then they went to the people that care for the pets. Breeders, trainers, groomers, owners, and veterinarians.
Well, one thing about it, y'all gotta have light.
So then from this, so the bubbles from this is gonna go like maybe from movement after the swimming and walking, it'll be like activities where there's
Like this.
Oh,
So then they just listed out all of their different learning centers, and they put what they were going to do in each learning center that supported pets. So in their writing center, they were going to have pet tracing cards that they made. They were going to have pet words and a pet word object match. In science, they were going to make animal cookies out of something. You could take oatmeal cookies, raisins, and make a turtle. Had the little raisins can be the legs. Give it a head. You could do ants on a log with celery, cream cheese, and raisins. And then math dominoes, which is one they were going to make. A lot of the things you can make, you don't have to have everything purchased. So you can make some things as well. And then for their display around their classroom, they're going to have the different types of pets that they're going to be talking about in real picture form. So I'm going to back up, okay? So, if you're thinking about your first concept part of your web, right? Whoop, I can't trip. So, pets, and then the kinds of pets, movement, body covering, sounds, care, and people. And then they're going to put all of the different things that match what they're wanting to talk about. So we had the question about community helpers. Same thing, community helpers. The types of community helpers. Whatever we branched out of, whatever they want to know about community helpers. Where they're housed, where they stay, where they're, how they get to you, or whatever you want to know about community helpers. That would be the outside part. And then you fill in with the specifics underneath it. Make sense? Yeah. And then you'll go to doing your activities.
Okay, this is what happens. Like, as your next one activities. So once you create this part, then do that part right there. Okay, that's how I figure it out.
Yeah. Does that help? Leave this first one up, okay? I'm going to leave this one up. So as you're thinking through your web, it'll give you a way to kind of help you compartmentalize what you want to put in your web.
Okay.
You could do insects. You could do transportation. You could do under the sea, the circus. You could do all kinds of things. You could do trees. You could do boxes. You could do clothing. You could do balls.
So you went for the tree. Yeah, and then so we can do that too.
This is from your activity back from the tree. Well, basically, I don't know the activity because you got to put them in the ground. It's an activity because they're using their feet.
So what you gonna put right here? Policeman.
I am all
So how are you ladies doing over here?
I think I like
No, listen, we're doing branch it off.
Winter time.
Put it on this village, and you put all the type.
that's going to do this like now.
So what does
You know,
animals for winter, what is that about?
That's what she said.
you want to break it down like that.
They too long for that.
But who are the
I
animals?
think that's what she meant.
What are the animals in winter time?
Like who it is the community helpers in general, and like where they are.
So if you're gonna talk about the animals, you've gotta talk about which animals are winter animals.
Then when we call them firefighters, when it's fire, the policemen when we need help, nurses when we're sick.
Because it's not enough to just to say what they do. Because the kids are gonna go, well, what's that? Who does that?
That's what she's saying. Right?
So now we have to base activities
Then we'll have
on our main idea. But how like we in the class.
And you want it to match. So if you're doing
They did winter, and then they did
then you want to think about
they didn't do like insects. So
maybe you just do clothes, winter activities, and what the winter weather looks like. It doesn't have to be super complicated. Animals may not have
the main one are the questions that you say. The questions that you ask, that's who.
and then maybe
what
do
you first
celebrations in winter and you keep the animals out of it.
With the from the questions. You came up with that. You made it easier to understand.
It's like what
And then you let them learn about all the things that are on this map right here.
We got to be artificial. Come we got to have.
I don't put plants in the one that went on group before.
Oh no, I'm saying I was just thinking like one of these lights not real.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking like that. They not real.
Okay, ladies, what did you settle on?
Just sit there.
Kayla came up,
But I don't like when the kids, we don't plant some flowers.
Oh yeah, I know son will do it.
Okay.
I was saying, then you gonna have a
Okay.
Yeah, okay, but
So somebody did something with me.
I'm stuck. I don't get it. I'm not
So
going
we was trying to, well, we was trying to see if we understood it to explain it to her, but when she said who and where, so we figured that would help us make the first thing, and then we got all who, and then where they are, when we call them, and how we call them, and then we branch off from these.
I think I'm going to the
Yeah, because she was, I'm like, teach them about the detective. She was like, who? Community helpers, the detectives, with helping different kinds of police.
Oh yeah, they don't care about all that.
Like, no, like this community helper, right? And then put government official.
They're not community helpers.
FBI, local police, CSI, special victims unit.
I think you should stick to policeman, fireman, doctor. She's trying to create a college web.
Okay. So is this like, are we on the right track?
It can be anything that you, however you want them to get it. There's no set.
Are we making it harder than we?
Yes, but it's okay.
But you actually said something. Right. That made sense. So then we go.
But when I see it, I don't see why. Like, okay, I told you. So we list right. So we list every community helper, right?
That you want to teach them
So
about,
then
yes.
why? So we wouldn't branch off of this circle and then do that again, or would you draw a new one and then do the how?
A new one would be the
And then do
how.
another one.
Yes.
Where? And
Yes.
then do another one.
And then, even if you stop right there, because if you think about it, they just have their initial concepts up there. So the next slide is where you would do a separate little thing and put out your different learning centers. And then how are you going to teach them what's?
give information
Yes.
about
Let's just start with these. Let's do firefighter, policeman, nurse, and then let's just stick with those.
we don't right now. We don't have a report. They're not
then
the doctor's
we
report
firehouse.
where we
I put the police house.
It is the police house. That's where they live.
Right, true.
basically it's just
Okay.
giving knowledge of
And in the hospital.
different sites and places that they can go get education from.
Policeman.
For early education.
So this is how they call you say? Holiday. Okay, so we're gonna do the basically activities. We're gonna do. You want to put that in there?
Y'all lost me.
What?
Yeah, see, we had drive.
Yeah, you had your own. Like the way it's like as far as she said, like from each one.
So we name some activities we can do before she come home. Name
We
them.
the police house. Playing soil.
Oh, we're lining up.
We're keep finding
What
doctors.
else? What about like artwork, right? Like paper and stuff like.
Ain't that being called for the fire?
Create a tree.
Is it separate numbers?
I'm saying like them new handprint, leaves, nothing, just the thing like this.
Oh yeah, so you would do with leaves, you would do the handprint.
Planting.
Oh, and that's what
So you want fruit, trees, flowers, nuts.
okay. So is that who, where, when, how?
You guys are trying to do college ones too, like this group over here.
Oh, and
Well, you think along the line of a 4-year-old. Is that the age group you're working towards? Okay, because 2 to 3 could care less about anything on that page.
Yeah, that's why I said
It's too complicated for them.
I'm like 3 to 4 because at least they gonna want.
Maybe we can try to do 3 to 4.
Well, and it can be 3 to 4, but you just have to think about it. Why are you doing planting?
Someone's hurt. Because the child asked me, where the nuts come from?
I said we need.
Then I would just do one on nuts and leave out everything
I
else.
said nothing.
How to call
So
them
that's why
would
she
be
didn't say
more
tree.
Then I said nuts. So nothing we have a bit on you.
I would just stick to it. So if they want to know where nuts come from,
Okay.
then you put nuts as your main part, and then you want to put the types of nuts, where nuts come from. Simple. The types of nuts, where nuts come from, how do you care for wherever they come from. If it's a tree, if it's a whatever, then how are they harvested?
So basically,
So we just take these
ideas instead of just
going with it.
Right. Well, but what you want them to learn from fruit?
And I just said,
The how I get his color, like how it tastes, like.
They don't care about how it gets color. You need to think about what they're going to want to learn at that age. Like, let's say nuts. And if you think about pets, they want to know what are the kinds of pets.
and when
This group wanted to do house pets and farm pets. They also want to know what
911?
Yeah. They want to know what are they covered with? What kind of sounds do they make? How do you care for them, and who are the people that care for them?
I put, yeah, that's what I put, for where I put firehouse.
So if someone wants to know about nuts, then you're going to say, okay, what are the types of nuts?
Yeah,
because they all have different.
How are nuts grown?
Police station, yeah, because they all have
Or
different.
where do they come from?
but if they
So you want to think very, very basic.
Because honestly,
Right, very, very basic.
in another place besides the hospital.
like what?
And you don't have to have a million offshoots either.
yeah, but the 3 and 5 year olds, they gonna be in the next people. They gonna she gonna be like, she trying to teach me. My kids home like this. Got paper, got lectures.
75,000 years.
All of that.
They like,
I want to do that when I grow up. Miss Michaela told me that.
And then you test it out. Then they say, well, nuts come from the store. Okay.
And I come home and know that.
But then how do they get to the store?
so then
That's why you said at the end, you got to evaluate it based on how the price come out.
Yes.
I'm around with nuts. And it's crazy.
You can do it.
Well, that's if someone asked about nuts. Someone might ask about shoes, clothes,
I'm thinking
transportation.
about baby food. Is that one?
Transportation is good too, because cars they don't be too much.
My baby gonna be too much.
Well, that's not something we need to teach them.
I mean, like, well, now they gonna want to know about how they move and do all that.
They like driving cars and trucks and stuff. They like
I
airplanes.
said something about the car, but I kind of
Let me shake. You got what black and white hair.
Well, you can do something something on the back. That's a very complicated concept. You don't have to be that. Well, think about the picture of the garden. See, that's not complicated.
Let's do this. Let's go. You can change it.
That's not complicated.
Y'all should think about it, because I'm thinking nothing's gonna get into for a little while, but y'all have to realize. I just thought about it. Especially I'm like these two.
I'm trying. I've been thinking what to keep their interest. Like what
Transportation. They like driving cars. They love everything. They bang the cars together. They be doing this cars. And all of
Yeah, and they do a AC and fire truck.
Yeah.
But I know I was going to yeah, because she was thinking like manually, like how you put the car together.
Oh no, not like how. No.
That's okay. They were thinking of community helpers, but they wanted to go into the CSI. To the
These are young children.
Okay, let's go with car. We know the car got to have wheels. We know it got to have a steering wheel.
So, do you all see how this is planning for young children? It's not, okay, let me just put these activities on this piece of paper. It's gotta make sense. High quality, yes. High quality experiences have to make sense.
Well, cars still go with transportation because you still need a driver.
Airplane, not automobile. That's a
It's something auto. That's
everything. The boat, right? It's an airplane.
See, now we're gonna be going into.
No, that's just
We're going too deep.
You gotta go deep into it. You gotta go deep into it. You still just put this a topic. You gotta go that deep. It's a topic. Not just cars, transportation. Cause you got like they young. Cause they like cars. They like trains. So just transportation is for cars. If we can break it. We talked about talking kids because transportation is important. So to me, a car, if I don't have cars, if I can't even drive. So at this point, I just think we should do transportation and you can do what kind of transportation? You got water, you got land, you got feet.
On site.
It's simple.
What is it?
And they are 2 to 3 years old. Someone can't even talk yet.
Where they work at?
So I just feel like they want to be overstimulated. Just do transportation, they just recreation opportunity kind of transportation. Like if you say transportation, right? If we have a car, the car have wheels. A boat don't have wheels.
I'm trying to grasp it.
Because I was thinking, because they were just put cars. For me, I think transportation because it's more than one way to get around. You gotta have no car just to get around. But you gotta be that deep. She said she wanted to overstimulate them. It won't overstimulate them. You just go into different details. Like this is for land. This is for, you know what I mean?
Water.
Air, yeah.
Air. Land, water, air.
It's not bad, is it? It's a good stuff to put cars down there.
Transportation, land, water, air.
And you got to do the whole essay, the whole thing about it. Just go into what each one on for. Like you got plane in our classroom.
And for air, you could have the small plane, the 6-seater planes, then the large commercial planes.
Yeah.
Like the crosswalkers.
Cars.
You could even have the space shuttles.
Like this
Submarine on it.
It's in water, submarine, boat. You've got the large cargo.
You got the lift without the air.
Right.
You've got the small passenger boat like you do for recreation. Yeah. There you go. That's for air.
A farmer? Wow, I didn't know that. A librarian. I didn't know that was a community. A dentist?
So go in, ladies.
Garbage man.
Hello?
Garbage man.
She's very lemon water. Why you ain't got to talk to me? Bring them stress me out.
Okay, I'm gonna check in 10 more minutes.
Kitchen? Yeah. Cars, airplanes.
Actually, not like
You gotta move around.
But then I'm like, when we need, you're right, we did kind of focus on emergency.
What if we do another man?
When we add construction, we don't need a car. Like when we call construction people, guess when we build
communicate with
stuff.
them, you build a contract with a construction worker. That's how you would communicate with them.
I'm saying, so what you put
From there, you just stuck.
You need a contract.
Girl, I'm
Keep those creative wheels turning.
What
They in college,
the child
Mr.
wants to know.
she's like, yeah, tell them they need a contract. Okay, when, or we could say when you need a house, when you want a house built.
The wings.
Ideally.
Oh, well,
Look at
the
this one.
propellers, the wings.
That's crazy. The ambulance driver.
So,
When you,
That fall under paramedic.
Miss Lisa.
Yes,
How do the airplanes stay in the air?
with the motor.
I guess that's.
But the motor is heavy.
I mean,
It's specifically designed. And then you look up, you research what technology makes them fly, and you add that in.
right.
amazing.
That's one of those smart kids.
Amazing.
The engine is heavy.
Oh, we said a prison. No.
Why it don't fall?
I need to go in the community.
So now think about the activities and stuff your dollars are gonna be.
Leave it at this,
Okay.
and now do activity.
Well, what do those, were you guys gonna do land?
I know you
The
want
types of transportation, land, air, and water?
So just saying,
it seems way easier to
air.
get started. How, number one, hospitals.
That's water.
a community help with sorting.
And you wanna make sure that you tell them multiple types of vehicles that are on the water, multiple types that are in the air,
Okay.
multiple types that are on the
Okay, so
land.
you got like jets, we got helicopters.
Man, please, don't think that. Just don't think that.
They told, they be told.
You know what the trick is? The trick is a small group. She don't look like she been okay. They don't.
No, she only killed in
Okay.
I tell you what, too late. What y'all got me working?
They can be so much more like this. I don't agree.
You don't think 2-year-olds can sort?
Yes. Yeah, but to a certain
You gotta have like big things and like.
only thing with 2-year-olds is their nerves get bad. Yeah, they
Nerves.
it only lasts 10 minutes. That's like 3 or 4 is better. You can't make a 2-year-old sit down 40 minutes or 20, 30 and do an activity.
Right, I was like,
After 10, 15 minutes it's over. 15, yeah, 15 push
Exactly.
Okay, so I put
5 more minutes, work on your activities, 5 more minutes.
Sailboat.
So for the one child, what you got in the we can
I just put dramatic play, dress up clothes, classroom drive. Oh yeah, and then we put I put the street song. Usually,
and then block areas.
classroom job.
Free play in block area because they have the necessary. They have the rooms. They have
Art and right. Oh, I put blocks.
I told her she didn't come no more. She said, "This is my only my first time." I said, "And your last."
Oh, and the car.
We're not gonna go to at home. She know you at home. Spot right there. You get it.
We know it's more out there, but that 3-year-old,
Writing letters.
we ain't worried about it.
What grade that was? I mean,
0 to 5.
0 to 5.
Yeah, that's for learning. Like, so whoever, yeah. So whoever.
Fire truck, ambulance.
That's a big age range.
Yeah.
For mine, I feel like we could do like.
What?
Fire truck, sorting on the car.
Right, you can be a better.
I don't know.
I said it should be up.
Say it again.
Community helper.
What should a fire truck be up on?
Have them color our tear pieces and have
So, do y'all have ambulance and fire truck or fire truck?
for right now.
No, I'm saying it's a truck. It's a other truck, I'm saying. It's another truck, that's not a car.
You can't make
This was fire
So
truck.
she said, put it,
It's sorted.
Yeah.
We'll do sorted for the minute.
It's a type of truck, right? So just,
You sort, you don't write.
Oh, right. We can sort with their, the tool stages. Like the fire, like the fire got
The actual car.
we gotta do that. 2 to 3. We gotta go to the deep in.
No, that's newer.
that.
You know what I'm saying? But they say, she said it make it easy for them. They 2 to 3. They don't understand what they do what it is.
Sort company.
They don't. Yeah,
Picture, nobody.
the ghetto kids, yeah.
You said the ghetto.
Bicycles, right? We got bikes, we got big wheels.
Okay, let's go back to that buses. We know we got city buses. We know we got what you call it, international buses.
Literacy.
I don't know how to speak.
Oh, and then we got
You do got different buses?
Like flash cars.
That's about it.
Then you got the city
This
bus.
is me on go. He's like,
Because it's transportation.
Or maybe,
yeah, so we got buses.
okay, so maybe, or maybe we got some.
So y'all doing land now? Just,
No, we're doing transportation.
oh, no, I'm saying like, no different one, like how she said.
We did
break it
van
down.
on there. Like we did van.
Water, air.
So I'm saying buses under land.
Yes.
Okay, so we got bus. Did y'all put bicycle? Scooter.
That's what I'm about.
We already had, got 5 up there.
With bike. Scooter can go up on the bike.
No, they, yeah, so on the bike, y'all line for the scooter.
They do that.
You did already? No. Don't say you did already? I did already, yeah. That's what we got. Because she was saying, we got, like this right here, she was saying we got to do all that details and stuff, but, yeah.
Because they're just
good.
I know what I'm gonna say, but it ain't got nothing to do with transportation.
Good.
They need to make
Work out
connections
bike.
between what's concrete.
Don't move. It stay in one place.
It should make us feel
But it
good.
has wheels.
Yeah, I say they got nothing to do with transportation.
That's what them tricks gonna say when they say, my mama got an exercise bike, got a wheel on it.
Look, they'll say, pick in one place though, we don't go nowhere.
Any of them. Sit down with.
Okay, so I'm trying to.
I can ride, listen, the way they have innovative things, people ride
That means they don't
skateboards
know.
True.
But if they
on the
can,
street now.
then they will.
Oh, yeah.
If they can't.
So,
If they point to the school.
imagine if a child live downtown,
They just
We all live
they
there.
see.
when they see.
So y'all put skateboard on there?
You don't teach children their ABCs.
I'm just saying.
So do we stop right there? We still go like
Associate things
fire truck,
together.
like noise,
Like puzzles.
Was that you?
And everything concrete.
More so hands-on.
color.
Color, the bike, red, all
Okay.
trucks.
Counting.
And then the since we added stuff to the flow stuff, we had both the stuff to wash.
I
Can
was
they
just
take
gonna say, we
10
can
items
create
and
a
count
tool
Yeah.
that
That's
shows
teaching them the
the
concrete
Didn't see it go in the water.
the road
we can
conversation.
create something where we can have the items.
That's it. It's sink, the boat is sink, and the boat that, you know, sail.
Activity right here.
Yes. So you want to build concrete
Need your line from it.
experiences.
Like, you know, water tables. We have boats.
2 more minutes.
We can do like airplane, the screen hang out of the
Yeah.
ceiling,
Okay.
and the airplane. Okay.
No, I don't.
What's left, you know, the lane, no, lane is right, but don't pay that rate.
And the lady was telling me I had these
Water tables, boats,
she was like, don't you show
airplane.
with that. She was like, the only way. She was like, if the flashcards have real life pictures, that's better. But most times, you know, they're like cartoon pictures, and they said that's not good for them.
Airplane, too, I know this right here, that they own, those you can do, follow me, doing like airplane fly stuff, different things, keep it creative. Follow, line up with the transition time, good airplane, go line up.
Or maybe she's doing like identifying. Because it is like the same thing on the wall in the first place. They look the same. But like, can they say that red thing?
You missed them up?
No, I just put in wrong.
I don't know.
Now you do your triangle.
Go back.
Now you was playing. There's literacy,
That's how they know.
communication, there's verbal,
She about to be
there's activities.
That's why I said scavenger hunt. Go around the room and show me.
I got to do the plane.
Oh, I got
Can you just get on board? Because no airplane you get on board.
They doing they thing.
And they like it.
Say how to pronounce, and it'll tell you.
Pronounce how you like
You also bring in noise teachers.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I said about the fight chores? I think I know. Every time when I doing my curriculum was cars and police cars and all that. So I started making this
Okay, Sam.
how they started making
So for
I mean, I mean, I like that.
Back to the school?
Is that age appropriate?
Wow. Okay, no, shapes, circles, the wheel.
Oh, yeah, because if you put all of them, you draw pictures, they should be able to point out who the police
And then if not, we
And the schools that have two wheels, so they're still around.
and they be having to. Oh,
And that's good for large motors, both motors, their legs.
So right. So they know.
One more minute.
I think I never did these. Like I didn't like these.
Oh, we just include that.
Bring back memories.
I was the one that water techniques and put something down that sink and float and put the boat in.
So many lines, yeah.
and with buses.
Oh my God.
Animals y'all for the water too. Sea animals. Dolphins, whales, add animals to the water table.
We making our own curriculum.
We done.
Something.
Hold on, you said,
Add animals to the water, like dolphins, whales, sharks, alligators. I got
We have a curriculum.
seals, everything.
I was about to say about the water. No.
About to what?
Incorporate sand, some type of sand for the in the setting.
Right, I'm like,
Classrooms.
Python came and she was trying to get her book to go like,
Forget what I just said.
so
Yeah, if it was ocean, we could probably be.
Get that.
You just do what you said.
right.
We also draw pictures of
Do we start in?
Yeah. We got rugs that have cars on them. We got the rugs that have parking lot. The rugs we got in our classroom, drive.
draw.
The rugs that we have in our
Oh,
classroom.
yeah, with the cars.
Right, yeah. And it's just that she
Draw
was like,
safety.
after the class, you still have to
Oh,
look at
yeah, safety signs, traffic signs, fitness and things. Oh, sure, see?
So that makes sense to work on it while you're in the class.
Traffic, all that stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna bring you all a piece of chart paper, and I want you to draw out your finished web on this chart paper.
You got the best handwriting.
I'm sorry, I can't help you
And I
out.
have some markers. Let me get you all some markers. Let me get you some markers.
Yeah, just take right here.
Boom.
There you go. I can't do that. I want that way, huh? It's getting better. I got
All y'all do is say, a line at each.
What you call one that be, God in the plains, okay. You know that look. I cannot stand when markers. My daughter, she was sitting up there, she was coloring last night. She was
But that means she might be
she
go hard.
go over there.
You know, if it doesn't right, ladies, and I'll do that.
Just don't. She don't.
Yeah. There's a little girl, she writes so hard at school. You know, just lighten up.
And then after you draw your map, we're gonna put our map on pause.
It's irritating.
Because we're gonna do something else so we can connect, okay?
That table is blank. Miss Lisa.
Yes,
Can I get the address? I did know it was my sister, my daughter.
I'm gonna drop my whole set.
sure, 3725 Black Shoals Road. And it's Atlanta, because it used to be College Park. City of South Fulton. No. It's Atlanta. It's not Union City.
It's College Park.
But
Across the street is Union City.
Oh, you serious?
Yeah.
when they put it in the GPS, it'll come up.
No, it's gonna automatically, it's gonna correct it and put, so this is, yeah, it's gonna correct it and put 30349.
No.
Whoa, we're gonna get with
Well, this is right on the edge. This used to be College Park. Now it's City of South Fulton.
No, that's across the street. That's crazy. That's
Go down the road and you was somewhere else.
Across the street, I just use.
Yeah, the one across the street is Union City. This is different. Like it,
if you put it in.
you probably because you know this area. Do you know?
this
You
might be a
came
big
straight
one.
here, but your GPS probably was taking you across the
Across the
street.
street like that.
To 30291.
Yeah, it is
That is Union City, yeah. It's so
That is
crazy.
kind of cool.
It's crazy, right across the street.
Part of our property across the street is Union City and City of South Fulton.
Yeah.
So
When they
whenever
switched it,
the fire truck comes or anyone comes, it's that direction.
my address used to be Atlanta, and now they say South Fulton, but I still put Atlanta.
But I know so nothing. And then when this
But
is
my
about
phone,
You go from Stone Mountain to Snellville.
Oh, y'all gonna leave me
And within 2 minutes from my house. Yeah. You cross over.
Okay,
Right.
so
Let's just make sure you walk with me.
I mean, that's what we put in. That's not really what they put on there, but I mean, that's what we wanted to teach them. Because they put what they wanted to teach about the vets, the movement, the kinds, the body cover, and we said we wanted to teach you about the vets. What's your question? Who are they? Where did they be? Is it through Bluetooth?
It should be, but I don't know if the Wi-Fi's connected to it or not, but if you email it to me, I can print it.
I was wrong. I said it was the one. I'm gonna ask you, is it okay? She leaving at 11:30. She tell you she's leaving.
Miss Tallulah is.
Yeah, so can we go first? So she leaves.
Well, we're gonna table this.
Okay.
And we're gonna come back and link it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, how much do that? A lot of times, y'all want to do chef? Depends on how long it takes. You ought to be like 40-some minutes sometimes.
There's a Marco's Pizza down the street on Buffington.
Oh, you do it? No, that is one for real. That is. Where's our card? Hang on, here That's a whole
The bottle.
Exactly. Oh, yes. I think they fold the paper up and just cut like triangles.
That's because I just said it.
Why did you do that?
But they do call it that because they live there.
I'll show you. Oh, and you put police station. It's really police precinct.
Really? They might not know that. No. Is it really? I thought it was the areas where the police are. Yeah, it's girl, you trying to teach them way past. They'll come home like, where's the police precinct?
But that's why the that's why we come out. But that's why the real police stuff are here.
They need to be knowing marketing, all that. Teach about the credit score. At 3, money management, yes. Come to my class.
We talk about cold
Teach you credit score. How to balance real life. Teach you about the struggle.
You know, you see those
Spend all your money.
you see those photos like if I knew it was like this, I would start saving for my house in kindergarten and stuff like that.
Exactly. But just imagine, you over in China, it's way different. Their school systems are so good.
Yeah, and they teach
They're way advanced.
and when you teach them earlier, they get things earlier. Like it's really
Activity when to college? About finish this and celebrations, celebrations with someone.
I put your bag in this chair.
Okay, thank you.
You should do it.
When someone's at
We'll see what
yeah, dentist. When someone hurt, when there is a fire, if you're an when do you call the police? If there is a crime,
I said if you need help. Everything. They're gonna be real detailed.
Okay, you know what's funny? My kids really like for real, they grown. They see somebody pull up in a new car. Is that a rental car? You know about rental cars.
Miss Lisa, this college zip code though, ain't it?
That's funny.
Oh.
And when do you rent a car? In an event when you don't have a car?
Creed that time is 0349.
I'm so like anal about how you pronounce it. And I didn't even realize until she like got here. She's talking so much. So I don't let her talk bad. I be correct her so quick.
Yeah, I never talk to my kids like that.
Especially when you learn they not good for them.
I put it like a paper towel roll.
When you,
Paper towel roll.
as you finish up your web, take 15 minutes just to get up and move around and then come back. And that'll put you back at 11:45. You take 15 minutes just to get up and move around and stretch your legs, and then we'll be back, okay?
I'm trying to
That's how I do mine. 4 pieces on me.
it was like stuck, so it was like keep playing with it. I'm like I just take it up there.